Hey everybody, welcome back. This is another episode of the Natives in America podcast. Pretty excited about this episode. I've been waiting for it to come out and it finally showed up. Looking at it, it's only 52 minutes. Well, it's going to be a little longer with this intro, but this is the cussing episode, or maybe we'll call it the curse word episode, but I'm really excited. It's like, holy shit, guys, it's the fucking cussing episode. So here it is. Just a quick note on the side. This photo, I didn't go with one of Ronnie's photos. He tends to send me photos in groups of 3, and whenever I figure out which episode the episode's gonna be about, I start looking through his photos and trying to relate what I see to what I see in his photography. And the ones I had didn't quite make me want to cuss. So, or I couldn't find the association, you know. I was like, fuck sales. One was of sales, and I was like, fuck sales. Or if I was in sales, I'd be like, fuck. But anyway, yeah, I didn't feel the other 2 photos that he sent me kind of induced cussing. So I went with this photo. I took it a while back in. Holy crap, maybe 2013, 2014, and when I look at it, it was from the ocean. It was from San Diego, and whenever I see the ocean for the first time, and this one was during the sunset, I think it was, I took the photo, and when I look at it, I'm kind of like, fucking A, you know, fucking A. It's a beautiful sight. Whenever I see like a really beautiful bit of nature, I'm like, fucking A, like, wow, look at that. So, so this is the photo I went with. This one I took quite a few years ago. It didn't seem that long ago, but it's almost a decade now, god damn it. So fuck it. This is the cussing episode. Me and Sky really got down on this. I think you guys will enjoy it. We make some good points, and at the same time, we get to do a little cussing. Get to talk about our own origins with cussing. So I hope you guys really enjoy this. On a side note, I've decided to just release Linus's episode. I'm not going to give it really an episode number. I'm just going to call it the Linus episode, and I'm just going to release that shortly after this one. So you're going to get a twofer this Wednesday. This week you're gonna get a twofer, and let's just say, look, the amount of editing I need to do to pull that episode back together is in the end, it's like it'll cause a whole bunch of problems to try to make it perfect. So I just decided, let's get it out of the way. Let's put it out there so you guys can hear it. If you can get something out of it, cool. If not, then we'll figure out another way of doing this. We're definitely gonna have future calls with Linus, and hopefully in person, but it'll probably be over the phone because he's on the other side of the country right now, out in I want to say Minnesota. Yeah. Anyway, I'll probably be wrong about that. Sorry, Linus. Anyway. So that's a side note. You're going to get a twofer this week, and you're going to get episode 11, the cussing episode, and you're going to get the Linus episode, our first interview with Linus. So I'm going to see if I can get a photo of him to just make the background photo. You guys can look at his mug the whole time while you're listening to his episode. So here we go, guys. Episode 11, the cussing episode, or the curse word episode. Again, I always kind of talk longer than I want to, but if you guys haven't already, please subscribe on YouTube. Use your YouTube accounts to subscribe to our podcast here, and hit the notifications button so that you can keep track with us. You know, every time we release a week, I'm trying to hit it every Wednesday. Happened last week. I couldn't release until Thursday, and I think the week before that we also it was Turkey Day. When we did the release, and I think the previous week I couldn't even get my damn computer to load it. So we're shooting for every Wednesday. So I'm sorry if it happens again where we don't drop it, but for the most part, I'll be trying to release these every Wednesday. So tune in next week. You'll get the next episode. This episode is episode 11 of the Natives in America podcast. and it's the cussing episode, and I fucking enjoyed making it. So enjoy, guys, and tune in next week. Boom. And just like that, we're live. I'm going to turn the music off in the background. This is Benjamin Juan, signing out again with Sky Antone. What is it, another Wednesday? I want to say it's the 7th. No, it's the 8th. It's the 8th. It was my...
I thought it was the 9th.
Okay, it's the 9th. I was going to say, maybe that doesn't sound right, because it was days ago that my godson had his birthday. So,
oh, really? Nice.
Yeah. DC's son, Junior.
Oh, cool.
So, he just, fuck, I want to say he's 11.
Wow.
I'm a horrible godfather. Okay.
What are your rules that come with godfather?
I just keep it real about what my intentions are. It's to be there for him when his parents can't be. And I hope that time never comes. But at the same time, I think it's like being around. And if I were up to par with what I think godfathering would be, I think it would be being in his life as often as possible. Like take him out, just me and him. I haven't in all his life. I have not done that enough. So, like I said, I'm a horrible godfather. But I was very proud to accept the role when I was asked.
Nice. I don't joke about the term, but I think when you don't know enough, then it can kind of be a joke. Where, you know, like the Godfather, like in the mob, or
yeah,
kind of like I don't know. I guess you know, it's interesting with my godfather. I knew him a little, but he actually passed away. But it always just seemed like it was just, I never understood what came with the role. I mean, to like you said, to be there in their lives, but then
yeah,
like I just wanted to hear what you felt you had, because I mean, even my godmother, like, I know what my godmother is, but we're not too close. But if I needed to, if I really needed to get a hold of her, I could, I guess.
Yeah. You know, I had a godfather and a godmother, and really, to my mind, they were a picture. Like, there's a picture in my family album of them holding me, I guess, when I was baptized as a baby.
Yeah.
And I think I was baptized. And I didn't know them well. And, like, whenever I saw them, you know, I'd greet them and smile and give them hugs. But I didn't really know them. They were an older couple when I was a baby.
Oh.
So, like, they were elderly once I grew up and, like, became a person. So, like, I didn't get to spend much time with them, which, you know, I always wish I had. So I guess that makes me even a worse godfather now that I think about it, because I know what it's like not to know them. But when they passed away, I don't think I was even around, which sucks. But yeah, like I said, my understanding of the whole role is, well, I think it can be as simple as if you know, they don't have a place for him to stay for a day or whatever, like a week, if they need help with him, they can call me, kind of thing. But at the same time, if something were to happen to them, I'd step up and try to father him.
No, that's good to hear you. Good to hear you talk about that. I think I don't know. Now that you're really pointing out the responsibilities, it's sort of, because I was just like,
what?
Oh, I don't know. I never got. I think I've always would have been, and maybe my time is gonna come. I don't fucking know, but it's like it would be cool to be to take on the role, but it's kind of bestowed on you. It's not really like the thing you sign up for. So I was just more like, when am I gonna get my shot at being a godfather? And, now you're talking about the responsibilities. I'm like, man, well, maybe that's why the role hasn't popped up yet. I mean, nah, but I mean, I know if I need to be there for whoever in my family, I will. But like, yeah, that's a big role to kind of take on.
Yeah. No, well, it's a commitment for sure.
Yeah.
And when he first asked, I was absolutely, yeah, fuck yeah. But you know, it's for. I think most importantly, it's for the time you don't know about. Like you can't plan for it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of strange to take it on, but shit, I know the kid. He's a good kid, and I could definitely look out for him. But his dad's doing just fine. Thank God.
So what's on the
docket?
We're kind of we're talking about two different.
Yeah, we've left the we've left the terrain there.
No, well, I was talking about our text message conversation earlier.
Yeah. We were talking about cussing, or you asked me for a subject. And I don't think you said one, but I think I already had one when you asked. Was dating apps and cussing.
Yeah. Well, I'm down for both. I mean, not really.
Well, let's do it this way. I think the bigger factor here is the cussing, and let me explain why. Like I think we get the idea behind dating apps, and if we get the chance to talk about it, let's do it. But cussing. I had breakfast with a couple of coworkers this morning. Hold on, I need to adjust my mic. It's like snapping in my ear. So I had breakfast with my coworkers, and we've been doing a little podcast where we did our second episode today, and it was about we go for breakfast. Apparently, one day they invited me out to breakfast, and turns out I found out that they go to breakfast every single morning after a shift. So I was like, okay, let me join in. And then we just kind of talked about a podcast. I think the second time we had breakfast, we were like, all right, let's do this. And we recorded it. And today we talked about cussing, and I kind of made a poignant point about it. What brought it up was we were talking about a word. They were talking about words that upset them. One was retarded, and the other one was rape.
Rape and retarded.
Yeah. 2 R words.
Yeah, well, that. It's FLKR. Those letters are like, they're very, like, fuck and
yeah.
love and, you know, those words that really, you gotta really ponder, you know, it's very, those F and killer, it's just kind of like, those sounds are just,
yeah,
have a lot of oomph.
Yeah, well, I thought you might enjoy this discussion because you're a writer.
Yeah.
And what I told them, my response was, look, I'm a writer, and I think words only have the power that we give them, and that and I just told, I think I basically came from the perspective that if we were to stop using words, like I had a problem with the fact that they were bothered by a word. Like I understand it. There's always something out there that will rub, kind of grind you the wrong way.
Yeah.
And but ultimately, like I said, I'm a writer. You're a writer, and I feel like words, when we put so much power on them that we stop using them out of guilt or fear or whatever. Like there's plenty of words like that, and when we give it so much power that we're afraid to say the word, use the word, write the word, whatever, we're kind of giving up a right to something beautiful, like all language. Like we're able to use these words. Like they kind of came out of thin air. Like if you believe in like evolution, like we've sounds and words and I guess the expressions what's the word? I want to say gestations. Well, there you go. I'm looking for a word to specifically say what I'm trying to talk about. So there means, I want to say gestations, guttural. I'm thinking of like the first animals that started vocalizing. Like there's all animals kind of vocalize, but I'm saying like where we started to speak.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you chastise a word or make it illegal to say or whatever, like it's kind of like part of the language dies. It's kind of like you're giving up a right. It's kind of like the death of writing, the death of language. So part of it dies, and so I was kind of upset that they were bothered by a word. But I had to explain that that's kind of how I think about it. And I'm curious what you think, because you use words yourself. You're a word.
Well, I mean, I believe the words we use or the language we use is the reflection of ourselves. So, like, if I call somebody stupid, I'm really calling myself stupid, because I'm using those words for, I don't know, and then it kind of goes back to, like, levels of conversation. Like, there's, like, multiple levels, and, like, to be at the highest level, you're actually, like, discussing things and trying to come up with plans opposed to just gossiping, which is when you're talking about somebody that's not at the table.
Yeah.
And that seems like we seem to gossip a lot, and I don't know. And the whole banning the word thing, I guess it can get really, really critiquing it and really basing it off of history and bringing in the historical information. I mean, but like, we don't talk the exact same way, they did in like Shakespeare's time, so
yeah.
Language evolves, and maybe banning a word or not saying a word as often might have more positive than negative influence, but maybe killing a language. I mean,
I didn't think about that.
That's kind of a little.
That's an interesting perspective.
I don't know, because it's weird now too, because I've been hearing these theories about like the world of all learning like a version of Chinese or Mandarin or something, because that's just how the world's populating, and eventually, everybody's gonna be speaking a whole different language, and in the future,
maybe some words won't be there. Didn't make the cut.
But then, like, but like, when I thought you were talking about cussing, there's like, I guess a time and a place, but like being young, you're kind of told not to cuss, but yet when you get the chance, you're cussing up a storm, So when you were talking about cussing, I thought that's what you were talking about more, the basics of what a cuss word is. But
well, to be fair, the fact that they were bothered by it kind of makes it a cuss word, doesn't it?
I mean, I guess in that setting where they're gonna get offended that you're saying something, but I mean, if you were to say that to the same, you could talk like that with your parents and they wouldn't even care. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, is it a cuss word? I mean, it might be a cuss word in certain arenas, but like,
and context.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm trying to think of a word that bothers me.
I'll sit.
Or I guess letting it bother you, because I guess it's like, again, like how you use your language. Like, what are you using it for? It's like our words are power, so.
Well,
I don't know. I guess like trying to control someone else's what they say. I mean, it's almost like a whole other type of censoring, which is kind of like, I was thinking of a story, but I'll tell it after this. What do you say?
I lost it. Okay. I was also telling them that I think cussing came up after the whole what word bothers you. I guess cussing kind of goes in hand with that. And I brought up science. I'm like, there's studies that show when you, like I said, I cuss a lot, especially like when I'm working. You drop something, you're like, motherfucker, like something's not going right, and you're like, come on, get in there, you bitch, like, come on, like. And I've heard of studies that have proven you can gain strength and you can tolerate pain by cussing, because cussing, using certain words highlights different areas of the brain than just regular talk. And I guess in the study it was like, alright, if you just get straight up injured and you take it or whatever, you'll feel all this pain. But say, you stub your toe, you stub your toe, it's like, motherfucker, ass, bitch ass, fucking motherfucker. You hit, and then you can tolerate a little more pain when you're just gutturally cussing away. There's studies that shown that, like I think they actually hooked their brains up, and then they got injured, or somehow, like, pinprick.
Yeah.
And they tried taking it straight up versus cussing, and they're saying that the tolerance of pain was increased when you cussed. And I certainly,
right.
yeah, right, yeah, and also like when I'm lifting something, You know what I mean? I've been lifting a lot lately at work, and I'm cussing up a storm. Like, come on, bitch, get up there. Like, you know, you're fucking like,
yeah.
Come on, fucker. Like, get in there, you fucker. Like, we're hanging beams or like drilling the cement to drop anchors, and we're like moving racking all day, 10 hours a day this week, and I'm sure all day long I'm just cussing up a storm, just trying to, you know, use energy and strength and motion to get something to fit right.
Yeah.
And cussing seems to be an integral part of that.
Wait, well, so name me a place where you won't cuss.
Well,
or a setting where you're you don't need to be cussing, or.
Well, let's start easy. Library. Motherfucker, you know?
What the fuck is that book, man?
Yeah, what's up with all these fucking books? It's funny that you say that, because at some point I got excited as I was talking earlier, and when we were at the restaurant, and I I cussed out loud, and there was this elderly couple that had just been sat next to us, like behind us. And when I yelled that, it kind of grew quiet. Like, they were talking up a storm behind us, and when I had cussed out loud, I got excited. I was like, whoop! And I kind of looked back, and they got quiet, and I was just like, oh.
Yeah.
Probably not here, you know, this probably isn't the place.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't want to say there's a time and a place, but there's a time where others around you might feel some type of way, maybe, but, no, I was remembering this time when I had to have been like maybe 8th grade or 7th grade. And, you know, I think, man, we watched movies that had curse words in it, and
yeah.
But my mom was very, I think up until maybe high school, she was pretty, like, trying to not censor us, but like be aware of what we're watching, and so
yeah.
So I know we wouldn't be always around a lot of cursing.
Yeah.
But we went to the U of A when she was in school, and she happened to be friends with this kid she was friends with her friend in class, which was a kid that I went to school with. So we arranged this time where we met up and hung out at the student union. This was like, man, this is way before how it looks now. Now it's all like futuristic compared to when I saw it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was different. It was still tight, but it was just a little old school.
Old school.
A lot of wood.
Yeah.
And but they had like this. It wasn't like a bar, but it was like a hangout spot, and they had like a open mic, and on that particular day there was a comedian, and we walked by that spot, and that dude was just like, I mean, what I heard was all the curse words, but it was just like, it was always excited and just kind of like, he was just like, I mean, he was a comedian just cursing, you know, it was like, but like, to hear it live and just to be right there, it was exciting, you know?
Yeah. I'm smiling right now thinking about this.
But kind of now, fast forward to me now, and where I'm at, I'm sort of like right in the middle of it, because as a coach, that's one thing we stress is like we don't need to cuss, like we don't need to be cussing right now, you know. Let's keep this space no cussing, because I mean there might be some younger kids there, you know, there's parents there. It's just like, we don't need to be cussing. And so I I know there's a time and a place, but then I also know that I cuss. I'm not to say I'm part of the problem, but I think over time I had to realize the responsibility that came with being able to cuss, because I think when I was in sports, and I remember being told not to cuss, because I mean, I think it's just more, I mean, seeing a young kid curse is almost like, it's kind of a joke, kind of funny, but then, I don't know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's almost like the language of, like, the next step, like, you had to mature enough to use it, but the way, because, I mean, now I see it, too, where my kids are just cursing, and it's like, they don't, it almost, but then I remind myself, like, man, I was kind of that same space, maybe, but maybe now it seems different, or I don't know if maybe I got soft or matured, but I still curse, but then I still also watch my mouth.
Right.
When I know, you know, it's like kind of like a hypocrite, where
it is a little hypocritical.
So I wrestle with that, because, you know, like, if I need to say fuck, then I gotta say, if there's no other word to substitute fuck, you know, or like bullshit or whatever, I mean, but then, like, if you're eloquent and you could still have that same passion and not say a curse word, so I don't know,
that's funny.
It's a lot of yin and yang with that. Yeah.
Well, I think what you're talking about there, like, is, you're like, oh, it's older. I think it's I don't want to say maturing, but well, it's almost like having an old pal. You bring out your old pal and just hey, there it is. But I think I say fuck the most. I think shit is a close second. Like, shit, shit, you know. And I think it's funny. My mom's also a teacher, like your mom, and she's even recently, like my handle on almost all the games that I play, usually on Xbox or PlayStation, my handle's Bad Mother, and even that kind of upsets her. Where, like, I'll be playing the game with my niece or my nephew or my son, and my mom will be sitting there watching, and like the screen will come on, and we all got like all these call signs and shit. And she would warn me, like, hey, you know, you're playing with these younger kids. You can't use that kind of. You got to watch the language that you name your characters. I just kind of laughed it off, but like, she had that mentality where she's like, don't show these kids cussing. And like I said, I cuss up a storm. Like, oh, I don't think a day goes by that I don't cuss. And like, maybe that's something to try. Is try not to cuss in one day, because I don't think I could do it. But I'm a hypocrite, because I'll be sitting here next to my son, and he'll be on like YouTube. I'll give him my phone, and it's regular kid shows. It's not like, oh, he came upon some bad seed video or whatever, but he'll be watching a kid show, and they'll cuss, or they'll say bitch, or this one I've been hearing him watch, they say buck, or oh, something like they say it real close to oh fuck. And lately, my son's been saying that, and I'm like, oh, he's speaking the language. Like, oh no, like sad about it, or at the very least, I worry about the day he goes to school and he's cussing up a storm. You know, and then they meet me, like they're gonna call me and they're gonna meet me. I'm like, what the fuck's the problem? You know, like something stupid like that, like oh, it's you.
Like, why is your son cussing up a storm?
How the fuck should I know? So there's like this little gasp, and I'm like, man, I've really become bitchified. If it bothers me like that, so like I'll hear it, and I hear him go off, oh fick, or oh fick, or something like that, and I'm just like, whoa, son, like whoa, son.
Yeah,
hey now. But I think maybe it's that he'll be going to school and be exposed to other people, and there's plenty of people out there that gas like. This child spoke a cuss word, and now they're in trouble, or whatever. Like, there's some people that want to chastise people and their kids for the language that their children use, and that's censorship. So fuck that. But
yeah, I mean but that's always gonna be a thing, though.
Yeah. Gotta accept that, I guess.
But. Yeah, I guess when you're young, you're just excited to say the word, but then when you get older, you kind of gotta, well, why am I using this word, and is it appropriate for these impressionable kids around me? It's like,
crap.
It's just that. With great power comes great responsibility. No, but I wanted to read you this. I'm gonna find it. Shakespeare, The Tempest. Do you know the play The Tempest?
I think is it the one with Caliban?
Yeah, Caliban.
I don't know the story specifically. I've only heard of it through like a humanities class. I don't think I've actually read the play.
Well, so this guy, his name's Prospero, and his daughter Miranda, they get outcasted from I think it was Naples or some town, someplace, and it's all because of Prospero he has these books, and they're like these precious books, and they have all this knowledge, and he kind of uses that to his advantage, and so the people don't like that shit. They want his books, and they outcasted him and his daughter. So they're like living on this island, and there's a native on the island named Caliban.
Yeah.
And he becomes Prospero's sort of slave, and he kind of just, pretty much, uses him to do what he wants on the island.
All right.
But, so Caliban's sort of like he's pretty much a slave in his own land.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of dialogue between him and Prospero, where they're like, he's kind of saying like, I gave you something, I gave your life meaning, and Caliban's like, I kind of had my own religion, I had my own shit here before you even came.
Yeah. And
I want to read you this line, and he says, you taught me language, and my profit is that I know how to curse.
Huh.
And you kind of think about that too, like when we learn, when there's a new language to learn, we kind of want to know the dirty words and the cuss words.
Yeah. That's very interesting.
So it's almost like the words we're not supposed to say are the words that have, maybe a rough sound.
Yeah.
Or make you feel uncomfortable. We kind of have a...
Sometimes on purpose.
Yeah. Damn, even just like how we can be like, not mean, but I mean, we get shit done when we talk.
Yeah.
So, I guess maybe cursing gives us, like what you're saying with the pain thing, like the words that we know might rub somebody the wrong way is still, something that's exciting to say.
Yeah, well, for me growing up, my mom was a teacher. She was kind of strict, and she didn't want that kind of language. I think when I was really little, I think I cussed at her or around her. I feel like I cussed at her because her response was immediately slapping me. Like I said something. I can't even remember what it was. I think I said shit or fuck that or something like that. Like just a response to something she was saying to me. I think she was trying to give me shit, and I said like fuck that or so. I think it was something like that. And she slapped me, and we both just had this like like what
like the movies.
Yeah, so it was like, all right. Later on, that became my currency with her. As a kid, like if I were trying to speak my mind and I was angry at her or whatever, like I'd cuss at her because it was forceful and she knew I was serious. It's like you're gonna know that I'm serious about this because I'm cussing at you and around you. Like, that's how I feel. Sometimes I'll even scream the cuss word. Fuck that! Shit, no, I don't want that. Fuck that. Fuck him, fuck her, fuck you. Like, and so growing up, it's almost like her saying, no, you can't speak this word, actually gave it value. And for me, value was like turning on the seriousness. It was like, all right, if I'm gonna cuss, we've suddenly stepped up to a more serious, you better listen kind of level of speech.
Yeah.
And it was almost as if she gave it that value for me.
Wow.
Because now, when I wanted to catch her attention or, speak my mind, I'd throw some cuss words in there, and it was immediate that she knew I meant business.
Dang.
So, with her, the currency was cussing, which is kind of interesting, because it was her saying, don't cuss.
Yeah.
But now, it's probably what gave it its power in the first place, for me.
But was it like, you're keeping this from me? Like, it's not like your life was ruined because you can't.
No, but it definitely was key to taking shit up a notch.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what did you just say? Well, fuck that. Like, what?
Yeah.
Huh? What'd you say? Like, oh yeah, I said fuck that. Like, So I feel like even if I tried to stop I'm on the fence about it, talking around my son. Like, oh shit, his mom's there it is. Oh shit, his mom's probably not gonna like that he's hearing these words come out of his mouth. There's a few times where he surprised me and said a cuss word right after I did. And I was like, oh, don't say that. Monsters get mad.
Yeah, well, it's... Well, I always wonder why when they say, like, the mouth of a sailor, like, why does a sailor...
Need a cuss.
Or why did a sailor become a standard of not...
Yeah, like a poster child for cussing.
Yeah, but, you know, like, it's just, too, like, sometimes when you're around certain people or you have you're comfortable around somebody or they understand where you're not having to, you know, you can not be playful with the language, but almost, like cursing away is acceptable. But I think it's only when you're around those ones you feel the most comfortable with, or at least, I don't know, maybe that's different because I don't get surprised when I see a lady cuss, but like the other day there was my boss before, she cussed a lot. And I was always impressed, but then I heard somebody else cuss, another lady cussing, and I was like, "You cuss?" Like, I was surprised, but it was,
You cuss?
I don't know what that is, but it's something like, I don't know. Am I striking any chords? But with what I'm saying, like,
are you striking any chords with me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, you hear me?
Well, what is it? But what is it? Is it again like, oh, a lady shouldn't talk like that, or?
Oh, well, my first impression immediately, the first question that came to mind was, are we talking a female or a lady, quote unquote?
Well,
like, are you just saying, oh, this lady, or are you saying, oh, she's a lady and it's improper for her to speak this way?
Nah.
Female.
I was a female, and to not think that they cuss, and then to hear it out of them come out, and it's like, oh, yeah. Wow, you cuss? Like,
what?
Almost like it's like a skill or an activity. Like, you can cuss too?
Yeah.
Or did you have anything on this?
Well, we're running out of time, but I'll say this. The other night, for the past month, I've been working on this reset team, and one of the supervisors, he's a pretty good guy. I think he tries to get level. He tries to stay level-headed, but he's under a lot of pressure to complete this big project with all these random people that we've all just met this month. And one night we went outside. Like, I occasionally need someone to take me outside to like let me into like this locked area. And so I was out there in the locked area with him, and like it was just me and him. And it was the first time me and him had really like stood around alone. And he just started cussing up a storm, talking about all the problems that are going on, just blowing up, and I'm just sitting there like shocked and quiet. Like, I'm cussing constantly, but never hear him cuss. But I guess, and I don't know, I don't know if that's just his shit, or like if that's his thing, and that's how he normally talks, or if maybe all that pressure he was letting off steam, and he did it by cussing.
Oh, maybe.
But it was an interesting situation to bring up, and just to bring up right here for us. As, there was an effect there. There was something there to hear somebody who I didn't think cusses, and to hear him cuss. And what's funny is I had nothing to say. I kept wanting to say something, add some part to it, even if it was just like, well, fuck, you know? Oh, well, shit. Well, fuck that, you know? Like, just add something, and I was just like, I don't want to say flabbergasted, but I think I was dumbfounded. Like, just, like, okay. And I think I actually said that at some point, like, all right, okay.
Yeah, no, it's like,
yeah, fuck those guys.
like, fucking right.
Right. Slam your hand on the table. Fucking A.
But what I was gonna say, my other job when I was working like in education, like cussing, you're not allowed to cuss in a meeting.
Oh.
I mean, you are, but it's like
as a rule.
No. It's like what we're saying now. It's like
professionalism.
You're cussing, like
no, yeah.
Like, it's almost like you're surprised, but like if you cuss in, I guess that's how I perceived it. Like if you cussed in this arena, it was sort of like, what? Why are you going to that level of language to?
Don't bring that mess in here.
But when I got this other job and it's in behavioral health and there's it's a different ball game. But like if you need a cuss or if there's no word, like it's not a bad thing. Like it's
that's interesting.
I have a more. I mean, not to say that we're cussing in all our meetings and shit, but it's just like
just blowing it up.
It's just like I'm hearing my boss like say this is shitty, you know, like because it's shitty, you know, like it's actually a shitty situation we're talking about.
Yeah,
like you might need to use the word shitty, but it's like I guess sometimes situations didn't come up in that other job, and it was almost like I feel comfortable now. Not to say I cuss all the time, but like if sometimes there's a time when you need to. At least in my experience. Yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to say everybody has to cuss, but I'm like, if you need to, and there's no other words to express what that curse word is going to do, then let it out. But again, it's just weird how I saw that, but it was almost like coming home after like first hearing my boss curse, and I'm like, we can cuss, like it's like. I mean, not to say because I told her about it after. I'm like, no, I was always impressed because she cussed like very eloquently, and she laughed about it, but she kind of said like, you know, I get in trouble by cursing sometimes too. So,
I'll say this: I like it in a boss.
Yeah,
I like to hear a boss cuss. Then it's fuck yeah.
Not in I'm gonna use this language if I need to, but just
well, not like cussing at you or anything like that. I'm just saying like to hear a boss cuss.
Fucking boxes.
Huh?
It's like, hurry the fuck up, get his boxes off the truck.
Get these motherfucking boxes. You need to hurry your ass up. That was always something that I... Oh yeah, you work for, I want to say FedEx? UPS? It was FedEx, wasn't it?
UPS, yeah.
Oh, it was UPS. I can't imagine you in those brown shorts. Yeah, get the boxes off the truck. Get these motherfucking boxes off the truck now. Lazy motherfuckers. Well, anyway, all right. So I think we gotta close it down here. Huh?
I remember that would be scary though, like, because we would like pack the like we'll be assigned a UPS, a couple trucks, and we'll have to load them throughout the night. And when someone got slammed or someone did a bad job or someone just you know, maybe a lot of people order stuff and it was all in that guy's route, but like,
oh yeah.
That would be something kind of like you wouldn't want to hear. But cursing, like from like, imagine starting your day off and knowing it's gonna be a fucking pain, and you're just like,
yeah.
Like that cussing and knowing you're kind of related to it, it's just like, damn.
All right. So say you know it's gonna be a shitty day. I bet you that at the same time, almost ironically, cussing would make that day easier. Like, fuck. It could be another fucking shitty day, guys. Let's do this fucking thing. Let's do this fucking thing. So I think overall, we're saying cussing's positive? Does the positive outweigh the negative? I guess is what I'm asking.
Maybe if you're not worried about what other people think when you curse, but...
There you go. I think that's key. I think I'll be cussing till the day I die, and I think my son's definitely going to be cussing. I think that's going to be inevitable, and I'm going to cross that path when I come to it. When I get called in for my son's language at school.
I don't know. Sometimes, what if it's like, my dad cursed, so I'm never going to curse. Like,
oh, damn.
What if it's that way?
Oh, wow. You know, what's funny is I actually feel bad about that.
Do you want your son cursing?
Oh, no. Well, I want him to make up his own damn mind, and I think an enlightened individual has no problem with cussing.
Yeah, I guess it's...
I think it's just another
tomato, you know? Yeah. Well, I mean, you just like you said earlier, like a curse word might be a normal word for somebody else. So. Yeah,
exactly. Well, fucking perfect example is cunt. I think that can make a lot of Americans uncomfortable, but in Australia, it's like cunt. Like they add it on every other sentence.
Yeah.
I was just like, okay. Yeah. I think that's a good spot to end it on, because I gotta get out this door and go to work. Gotta go to this fucking job, bro.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah, you know? It's gonna be a long fucking day at work.
Have a positive fucking day.
I fucking will, bro. Fuck that shit. All right.
A wuss.
Fuck that. All right. Have a good one, brother.
All right, man.
I think another successful podcast. Let's keep this shit going.
I'm yeah.